Fox Carolina, the 11 o'clock news starts now with breaking news.
Anderson police working a shooting tonight. A juvenile shot and driven to the hospital there at ANMed. No update on that victim's condition at this hour. This happened at the Friendship Court Apartments nearby there on Malden Street. We know that the suspect took off on foot, also a juvenile, but was quickly detained by the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, who helped police there on the scene. We are working to get additional information, but due to the ages involved here, it could be a little tricky. We likely won't get a name of a suspect, but our main focus is how that victim is at ANMed ER, and we'll update you as we get new information tonight.
Only on Fox, shots fired outside a youth baseball game in Anderson from last night led to 2 people shot inside their car near a T-ball game. Now, kids and parents ran for cover trying to get to safety. And only on Fox, we're hearing from a neighbor who heard all of it. Fox Carolina's Brooklyn Cromer is at ANMed Hospital tonight, where they've now seen several gunshot victims in the last 24 hours show up there.
That's right, Cody. And the police report that we got today says that there were at least 3 victims in this shooting. Now, we know 2 of them drove themselves from that baseball field about 5 minutes away from here to ANMed. Now, I reached out to a family member who says 2 of the victims are related. She tells me a man and a woman are in stable condition. And I talked to a neighbor who lives by the ball field. He says he saw people running down Salem Street when they heard gunshots. Anderson police say the shots came from 2 separate cars as parents and kids pulled into McCants Field for a T-ball game. A mom reached out to us and tells us her children had to lie in the floorboard of her car. A police report I obtained today outlines damage to the victim's car, including a bullet hole to the front windshield, shattered glass, several bullet holes, and blood on the seats. Officers found shells in at least 3 separate locations, and neighbors tell me at least 1 stray bullet hit a house.
There were kids outside. They were down there playing actually where the shooting started. There were kids like right there. But everybody ran in the house, and a pregnant woman lives right there. She couldn't make it in the house, so she got like behind the carpet in the driveway, and she got down on the floor.
The police chief says as of this point, they haven't made any arrests. Now, if you know anything about the shooting, you're asked to call the Anderson Police Department or call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. Reporting live in Anderson, Brooklyn Cromer, Fox Carolina News.
Well, a similar shooting at a baseball game in the Low Country. Now a $10,000 reward being offered for any information leading to an arrest. And those terrifying moments, they were all caught on video. Take a look. Now you could hear those multiple gunshots going off. The kid's about to, swing his bat there at the plate. Everyone just freezes. This video from a parent shows everyone running from that diamond there on that baseball field. Thankfully, nobody was hit there. We're told that there will be a meeting with parents and the team tomorrow to discuss safety measures moving forward at that baseball stadium. Officials say they want those involved to pay for their actions and hope the reward money will encourage somebody to come forward.
Well, the Greenville County School District had a packed room tonight. It was the Board of Trustees meeting, and the reason, well, safety. Parents and advocates, they want something done following what happened inside Tanglewood Middle School. 12-year-old shot and killed by another 12-year-old.
Greenville County parents say they want metal detectors in schools. The district tells us all options are on the table. Fox Carolina's Matt Koufax was at that meeting tonight. What did they have to say, Matt?
Well, Tori, Cody, although it wasn't an official agenda item for the board this evening, that didn't stop parents from showing up in force. While many say they want metal detectors, others say they're open to additional solutions as long as they feel something is being done so that they feel safer sending their kids to school. Now, parents at tonight's GCS board meeting made their feelings known. They want action, and they want it now. I spoke with parent of 4, Justice Richardson, who says the school shooting at Tanglewood just weeks ago is still fresh in the minds of himself and many others, and he says it makes him uneasy about sending his kids off every morning. He says he's open to solutions other than metal detectors, but many parents agree that they really haven't been presented with a better alternative to this point. In the past, the school district has said that they don't believe metal detectors are a foolproof measure, adding that the best deterrent to guns is for kids to see something, or say something rather, if they see something. Now, I asked Board Chair Roger Meek if the district would commit to placing metal detectors in schools.
The board have discussed it for years, and we're still discussing it. We're not ready to make a statement on them yet.
I want to see our elected leaders do what we elected them for, protect our children, and I want to see us as parents control our tempers and use logic, all right, and use sound wisdom to protect our children.
Wise words there. I also spoke tonight with community advocate Tracy Fant, who's on your screen. She said to the board, why not just try out metal detectors on a smaller scale to see if they work? Some advocates say a pilot program could help the district answer questions they have about whether they're actually deterrents to guns and violence. And speaking of that pilot program, both Mecklenburg County in North Carolina and Richland 1 in the Midlands have established pilot programs that are similar to test out the idea of metal detectors in schools. Do they work? Is it something that's even feasible for the school district? Parents tell me they feel like that seems like a fair compromise to see how it goes in maybe a small test sample, and then maybe apply that to the larger group of schools if it does pan out. Now, the district says that they do not have any further comment at this time. We're going to continue to follow up online and on the air. In Greenville tonight, Matt Koufax, Fox Carolina, the 11 o'clock news.
And just as Matt mentioned, you can stay up to date on this story. We know a lot of people, a lot of questions still that they want answered. Just download our free Fox Carolina News app.
First alert, Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent joining us right now. And the really big story tomorrow morning is going to be just the cool down. Might have to grab a jacket for the kiddos at the bus stop tomorrow.
Chilly, yes.
The kids have been used to getting shorts and T-shirts. This morning was in the 60s. But, yeah, that's this time of year for you, though. You really never know what you're going to get. That's why you got to stick with us, and we'll keep you posted.
For sure.
But it will definitely be a jacket kind of morning tomorrow. As the rain is moving out, we find the cold air pushing in. There's still some lingering showers around Columbia. You can see a bunch of that over toward the coast, but we have cleared out. Temperatures are slipping fast. We're down into the upper 50s already in Spartanburg and up in the mountains. 46 in Waynesville, 47 for Bakersville, 53 for you in Hendersonville. So it is certainly getting chilly. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off around 46, which is cooler than normal for this time of year. And then we'll warm quickly with that sunshine. We've got a couple days in a row of some really pretty sunshine, but it will be breezy, so it'll make it feel a bit chillier. So 68 might not feel as warm around 11 a.m., but all in all, a nice spring day ahead. In the mountains, around 40 to start your day, 48 by 9 a.m. and then 61 toward late morning. So mild into the late morning into the early afternoon, but certainly a chilly start. So dress the kiddos in layers so they can shed them by recess, as it's going to feel pretty good by the afternoon. That chilly night will end up becoming a breezy, sunny Wednesday. And then we're looking ahead to showers and storms this weekend. Now, we had such a perfect weekend last weekend. This one doesn't look so great, but it's not going to be a complete washout. There's a chance of rain both Saturday and Sunday. We'll take a look at our long-range model and get you set up on when we're thinking some of that heavier rain is going to move through coming up. Of course, you'll want to download the First Alert Weather app, scan this QR code, and get the free app. It is awesome. I love it personally. I have the app on my phone and use it. It is a great radar, shows you when lightning is near. Did that today, sent an alert, but it sends lots of great watches and warnings. And we also will be able to send you those updated videos from the First Alert weather team that are exclusive to our First Alert app.
Kendra, thanks. A Western North Carolina Congressman cited after officials say he brought a loaded gun to the airport. He's stayed in the news quite a bit over the last year. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police confirming that a gun was found in the bag by a TSA agent at Charlotte Douglas International this morning. Officials confirmed Representative Madison Cawthorn was the owner of the bag. Police say Cawthorn did cooperate with officers there. He was cited for possession of a dangerous weapon on city property. I believe the fine's about $13,000 is what he got today.
And we now know the name of the suspect who killed a South Carolina officer in the line of duty. It happened Sunday morning. Officer Drew Barr responded to a domestic disturbance in Casey. We're told Austin Henderson opened fire on Officer Barr and others in his front lawn. But after a 7-hour standoff, Henderson then turned the gun on himself. Now, in the past, he had been arrested on domestic violence charges. He heard from the police department today.
Our goal is to continue to focus on the family. We're going to continue to focus on Drew's honor and memory. We're going to continue to focus on our officers, our firefighters, and this community, and we are going to be stronger for it. We are going to be united around this city and around this department and around the firefighters and everybody.
Well, we have some funeral details for Officer Barr. Services will be held Thursday in his hometown of Batesburg, Leesville. Visitation from 3 to 4:45 at Batesville-Leesville High School. A funeral will follow at 5. And in lieu of flowers, we're told that you could donate to the Casey Police Department.
Well, newly released evidence shows the chaotic moments after a deadly shooting on the Rust movie set. We'll show you some of that new evidence being released.
Plus, law enforcement with a warning after a Wisconsin couple died after trying a dangerous TikTok trend. What you need to know.
Hour-by-hour weather on the Fox Carolina First Alert Weather app. This upstate 3-year-old is smarter than most of us.
Can you show me where Australia is?
Accepted into Mensa, the program for the super intelligent.
No, Dad. What's this one?
Boy Genius, Thursday at 10 on Fox Carolina.
Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Whether
you're watching Fox Carolina, the 11 o'clock news.
The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office releasing new photos, videos, and documents related to the fatal 2021 shooting on the set of the film Rust.
And we want to warn you, some of the video might be hard to watch. Nate Foy has the story.
You were in the room when someone was shot?
Holding the gun, yeah.
Okay.
Newly released photos and videos give a closer look into what happened on the set of the movie Rust in the moments before and after the deadly October shooting.
Where's the props guy? Where's the props guy at?
Video shows actor Alec Baldwin rehearsing what would become a deadly scene. Baldwin is seen on video practicing his gun draw, that gun going on to fire a live round, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza.
We've done this for 2 weeks and we did it the right way every day.
Body cam footage shows the frantic moments after the shooting as first responders attempt to save Hutchins' life. In Baldwin's first interview with police, he says he has no idea how a live round got into the gun and that he was handed the weapon by the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Police saying previously, Assistant Director David Halls, not Reed, handed Baldwin the gun.
All the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly, I cock the pistol, bang, it goes up. She hits the ground. She goes down.
Baldwin has claimed the gun went off without him pulling the trigger. Police offering no comment with the release of the files, only saying the investigation is ongoing.
Now, no word on if or when any criminal charges may be brought in this case. The production company behind the film was fined last week $137,000 by New Mexico health and safety regulators for their series of safety failures.
Well, meanwhile, a couple in Wisconsin killed while trying to create art using a popular TikTok method. Here we go. The Marathon County Sheriff's Office says they were called to this home April 6th because of the fire. You can see that's badly burned. That's when they discovered their bodies. After investigating, they found the victims had been electrocuted while fractal burning. It's a social media trend that uses high voltage electricity to create designs on wood soaked with chemicals.
We do know that the fire started in the garage before spreading to the home. We believe that the fractal wood burning equipment that caused the electrocutions likely started the fire. This was a tragic accident.
That's heartbreaking. Authorities warn the trend is extremely dangerous and it should only be done by trained professionals. I say not.
Well, the family of the teenager who fell to his death from a Florida amusement park ride has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. 14-year-old Tyree Sampson died last month after falling from the world's tallest freestanding drop tower. His parents say that several businesses should have done more to protect their son. The lawsuit accuses the theme park of failing to safely operate the ride, failing to warn Sampson of the proper height and weight safety restrictions, and failing to properly train their employees. The teen's mom says she never expected to say goodbye to her son forever when he left for spring break.
His last words to me was, "I'll see you Saturday or Sunday." I'm walking back in this door. The same way I left, I was expecting to see my son return to me the same way he walked out my door.
Says while most free-fall rides of this type have a shoulder harness and a seatbelt, the ride has only an over-the-shoulder harness for riders. And you can always stay up to date with us through our free app. You can find us in the App Store or on Google Play.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed what's being called the largest income tax cut in state history. It comes weeks after the bill passed through the General Assembly. Once signed into law, the bill will gradually lower the tax rate over the next few years. It's expected to cut taxes by more than $1 billion in Georgia. The first decrease will take place in 2024 and go down each year until it's reached 4.9% in 2029. And we'll likely hear more from Governor Kemp about this tax plan during the governor's debate. It's set for this Thursday. You can watch it at foxcarolina.com.
Well, speaking of the Georgia governor, Governor Kemp and the former Senator David Perdue out of the Georgia state off to a debate on Thursday. It's going to be hosted by our sister station, WTOC, down in Savannah. So these two are trying to get the Republican nomination in that upcoming race. Now, Kemp seeking his second term as governor. Perdue just trying to get back into politics after losing his Senate seat in 2020.
Lil Nas X announced some dates for his first solo tour. So if you're a fan, here you go. The closest he's coming to Greenville, Atlanta. So not too far away. Those ticket pre-sales begin tomorrow. It's in support of his album Montero, featuring the #1 hit Industry Baby with Jack Harlow.
Now your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
Well, rain chances are finally back down. We had those showers today, but as we go into the next few days, we're going to see it on the lower end. By the end of the week, still looking at a 0% chance of rain. But then by Saturday, Sunday, that will start to change. 30% Saturday, 40% Sunday. Those are not big percentages, so I don't expect a washout, but you will have to keep that in mind for outdoor plans this weekend. It's not as nice of one as we had this past weekend, unfortunately. The cooler air is taking over across the upstate. You can see the clouds have actually moved out, too. Temperatures are falling. It's already 55 in Spartanburg, getting a real running start at those 40s as we head toward later tonight. 58 in Greenwood. Those are the two cool spots in the upstate. 51 in Asheville and 51 in Brevard. So over the next 24 hours, it is going to be chilly. Let's look at those overnight lows, mid-40s. So again, don't put up those coats just yet. Not only will you have to have at least a light jacket for tomorrow morning, you'll also want it Thursday morning. It's going to be another chilly one. In the mountains, right around 40 degrees and mostly clear. Now, over the next 3 days, temperatures will be slow to warm up. We're not going to be back in the 80s again. So this is the temperature, at least, that I particularly enjoy this time of year, because I know those 80s and 90s will come and set up shop for several months into the summer. So I always like to soak up these 70s. Mostly sunny through Friday. In the mountains, a little bit cooler. We'll get some 60s on Wednesday as well as on Friday. Now, with all the sunshine, of course, and the warmer temperatures, we've seen the tree pollen go up, and it's actually on the downswing now. But what's going up is grass pollen. And it's funny, every time I show this graphic, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm pretty sure it's grass that's been getting me the last couple of days. Have been general misery for my allergy symptoms. I don't know about anyone at home, but it's not been fun. But, you know, it's when we have to get through this time of year. It's routine for us in the Carolinas. Now, the next big thing is something that could help all of us allergy sufferers, and that would be some rainfall to help clean the air out just a little bit. On Friday, looks like we'll stay mostly dry, but the showers will be possible as we go into Saturday. Now, this would just be kind of a glancing batch of showers that would be along a boundary But it does look like it could happen really at any point on Saturday. We're going to fine-tune the timing for you so you'll be able to better plan your outdoor activities. On Sunday, right now, it looks like it would start dry, but then in the afternoon during the heat of the day, we'd get some scattered showers and perhaps a few thunderstorms. So something to keep in mind for those plans, and we'll be giving you a much better idea of what to expect as we get closer to the weekend. Early next week, still a chance for some scattered thunderstorms. In the mountains, watch for beautiful weather through Friday. And then, of course, the weekend comes and we start to ramp up those rain chances. Highs will be in the low to mid 70s. Of course, you'll want to check in with meteorologist Brian Bachman on the Morning News. He'll have the latest on that weekend rain chance.
Two lifelong friends bond over their love of baseball. How they went from Little League teammates to co-coaches. That story next.
Closed captioning sponsored by Bojangles. It's Bow time. Find Fox Carolina on the View It app. Just download View It to your device.
Fox Carolina, the morning news. We give you the first alert.
It remains a damaging wind threat.
When news develops, we're on it.
Breaking news in Spartanburg County, just getting that confirmed.
3 to 5 mile backup.
Keeping it local. Fox Carolina, the morning news.
Once a year, only in Greer. Hot July 4th specials. Save in Greer. Over 300 quality used vehicles. Some priced at a low $19.95. Zero down available at Toyota of Greer, Hyundai of Greer, Greer Nissan, and Kia of Greer.
Just outside of a town called Basic is Basic Lake, where families gather together for some basic fun. And if you have the 2022 Nissan Rogue with a VC turbo engine and 5 drive modes, you can climb above Basic and find a trail where no one else goes. The 2022 Nissan Rogue. Anything but basic.
Get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months on Rogue, or save up to $37.62 on select models.
Call.
NCAA President Mark Emmert says he'll step down after 12 years. The NCAA Board of Governors announced the move today, and they say this was mutual. Emmert will continue to serve in his role until a new president is selected and in place until about June 30th or so. Meanwhile, back here in the upstate, Burns High School has a new athletic director. Spartanburg District 5 announced Dr. Russell Howard will take on the role. The school says he's been at Burns for 26 years. He started as a teacher and coach back in 1993, so much deserved from Mr. Howard. And big news for Clemson, the newly formed women's gymnastics program now has a head coach. Amy Smith will lead the Tigers. She's a UCLA grad. She spent the past 5 seasons as head coach for Utah State. Clemson announced the new program last June. The team scheduled to start competition in the winter of 2023-24. And an unlikely reunion. The game of baseball bringing 2 childhood friends back together in the Grand Strand. Our sister station in Myrtle Beach shares this heartwarming story.
Chicago, Illinois is nearly 1,000 miles away from Myrtle Beach. But thanks to the game of baseball, 2 kids from the Windy City have found themselves back in the dugout together.
We were in 3rd grade. We met in like the Park District, and then we were both pretty good players, so we were on the travel teams together.
Pelicans hitting coach Stephen Pollicock and strength and conditioning coach Mark Wiseman have been friends ever since they were on the same Little League team together. In fact, Pollicock even helped get Wiseman on board.
As soon as I found out that in the strength and conditioning department that we might have needed another individual who can help be a part of greatness here in this organization, I reached out to him, and he took care of it from there.
So now 2 kids who grew up in Chicago and played ball together as kids are now working for the Chicago Cubs organization.
We happened to drive from spring training in Arizona together, 30 hours here together, so we caught up on old times real fast. And back in the day, our dads drove us to Cooperstown for one of the tournaments, so we were kind of reminiscing, like, oh, the tables have turned, we're the ones driving now.
It's a full circle moment for these 2 friends turned co-workers.
It's incredible. It really is. I think that's just kind of how life works, where special people end up staying around special people over a long period of time, and things happen the way they should. And it goes to show that there's something very special brewing around right now with the Chicago Cubs organization.
Download the free Fox Carolina app on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV.
Finding the right auto dealership can be challenging. You'll save at Toyota of Greer. Sales and service are open, but you can always shop online 24/7 with home delivery for your safety and convenience. Come by, call, or shop online. We're open at Toyota of Greer and online at toyotaofgreer.com.
Mom. Okay, go be safe.
With the vaccine available for kids, we can now protect them from COVID. Even if we can't protect them from themselves.
You ready? Yep.
3, 2, 1.
In the Carolinas, True Blue means unwavering loyalty and commitment. To earn this level of trust, Ford builds the trucks and SUVs that help keep you in command when you're on the road. And in return, America has shown its loyalty. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. Discover what True Blue means to you. Now get 1.9% financing for 60 months plus up to $2,000 bonus cash on select 2022 Ford SUVs. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
How about sushi?
I just had sushi for lunch yesterday.
How about tacos?
Tacos.
Automatic emergency braking, one of 6 advanced safety features standard on every 2022 Chevy Equinox. Find new technology, find new roads.
The 2022 Chevy Equinox also offers an EPA-estimated 31 miles per gallon highway. Plus, very well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Equinox models.
Weather where you are on the Fox Carolina First Alert Weather app.
In the Carolinas, True Blue means unwavering loyalty and commitment. To earn this level of trust, Ford builds the trucks and SUVs that help keep you in command when you're on the road. And in return, America has shown its loyalty. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. Discover what True Blue means to you. Now get 2.9% financing for 60 months plus $500 bonus cash on the 2022 Ford F-150. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
This upstate 3-year-old accepted into Mensa, the program for the super intelligent.
No, Dad.
Boy Genius, Thursday on Fox Carolina.
Oh, yeah, here's...
Look at those dolphins. Those dolphins. There's hundreds of them in Southern California coast. The group was caught on cam by Captain Dave's well watching in California. Look at those guys in the...
oh, my goodness.
That's a dinghy that they're in. That's what it's called. That is what that is called. I learned that in the islands.
You're right.
It sounds funny, but you're right. It's a dinghy.
500 dolphins.
That's incredible.
In that group.
Wow.
Because I feel like if you see it in the wild, they're usually running from like sharks. But I hope these are just a megapod having fun.
They're just frolicking.
I think it's the dinghy chasing them.
The dinghy.
Go back, scroll back, Cody. What's that last little factoid? Southern California is said to be one of the best places to catch megapods of dolphins.
We got to go check it
10,000.
Dana points.
10,000 megapods.
So, yeah, I guess these are just having fun. But if you're out in the wild, it's not a good sign.
No, usually there's something after.
But yeah, so Captain Dave's well watching is if you go to Southern California, go see him. Because obviously he knows where to go.
Captain Dave.
He puts you right out there in the middle of
We're
them.
booking our trip, guys.
We need to.
Captain Dave.
It is called a dinghy. I did learn that.
Yep.
In the Virgin Islands.
I feel like it needs to be in an Australian
Are they inflated
accent.
on the outside?
Yeah.
Dinghy.
You just pull them behind like your boat. You pull them behind the boat, get to the island.
Watch Fox Carolina, the morning news, 4:30 to 10 a.m. Committed to you.
When we call a Fox Carolina First Alert weather day, that means the weather's going to change significantly, and it will have an impact on you.
First Alert Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent.
Stronger storms develop right on top of us.
And the First Alert team.
Unlock the possibilities. Create a place to thrive. To get your game face on. Flex your green thumb. Ace your tomorrow. Slay the bonus room. Tap into the equity of your home with a cash out refinance from PennyMac. The mortgage lender over 4 million homeowners have relied on. PennyMac. Greatness lives here.
Get road trip ready. Spring into savings with the best deals of the year at Greer Nissan. Roll out with low monthly notes. And zero is the hero. 0% financing available. Tough Nissan Frontier trucks, only $99 a month. Roomy new Nissan Sentras, just $199 a month. Versatile Nissan Rogue Sport, just $279 a month. And luxurious Nissan Altima, only $299 a month. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now is the time to spring into savings at Greer Nissan and GreerNissan.com.
Going on at 10, first thing is what's happening right now. What do people want to know? We just got on the scene of breaking news tonight.
To keep you and your family up to date and safe, of course.
Evacuated as a fire threatens homes.
We'll be here all night keeping you posted.
As soon as we get it here at Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
Carolina traffic can be tricky, but with decades of experience, Chris Scott knows the roads. Weekdays 4:30 to 10 on Fox Carolina.
Tonight, the sexiest men alive are who people are talking about.
Hi, I'm Paul Rudd, and I'm this year's People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive? It's a question, right?
Oh, it's not a question, Paul. You're too modest. We got it right.
I'm gonna lean into it hard. I'm getting business cards made.
Bowen Yang made history at SNL, and he takes us behind the scenes of those infamous after parties.
Beyonce and Jay-Z showed up. I think I blacked out.
Orlando Bloom is slowing down, and for all the right reasons.
I've got way more at stake today than I've ever had before in terms of my family.
And we take a look back at past sexy men and what it takes to make the cover.
Looked in the mirror, I checked myself out. I was like, yeah. You all kind of sexy today.
Confidence is sexy, Idris, and so is humor, Bradley.
Welcome to my People Magazine Sexiest Men Barely Alive shoot.
Our supersized Sexiest Men Alive special starts right now. Hey, everybody, welcome to People. I'm Kay Adams, and we are about to embark on all things sexy.